What you doing, Diggletdreamers? Mathras here. Almost said back. I'm here with week 1 of the CDL, CML. I'm not sure. I'm not positive on the names at this point anymore. But this is the week 1 battle between myself and Eric, aka Heavy Metal Pokemon. If you want to check out the team builder for my team, as you can see right in front of you on my side of the screen, if you want to check out a lot more in detail about what my team is like and what I kind of prepared for, I'll leave a link at the top right of the video screen if you want to go check that out. It went up probably a few hours ago, so go ahead and check that out. But as you can see, my opponent's team, Eric's team, the Colorado Mamoswine, and my team, of course, the Boston Buizels. My opponent is bringing Hoopa, Ribombee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Virizion, and Silvally. So at this point, I don't know what typing that Silvally is. I know it's probably his Defogger. I know his potential Z-move users are Virizion and Hoopa. And then I know, of course, that he could be bringing Sticky Web on this Ribombee. And, Vaporeon and Jolteon are usually pretty standard, like defensive Vaporeon, offensive Jolteon, not too crazy. The only thing I think of is like a Z Celebrate Vaporeon, but he would have designated that as one of his Z move users if that was the case. So I know that's not something that I can expect. But I'm very excited to get this, just get the battle started with this league. Yeah, I'll hop into it. I'll put it on normal to start, or maybe even slow. I'll start with slow. So basically my game plan here, as soon as I saw, I knew going into this week that getting up Stealth Rock is going to be a pretty big deal for me, because my main form of knocking things out is basically with priority. My Accelerock from Lycanroc, and then my first impression with Golisopod. Like Accelerock does almost half to Hoopa, knocks out Ribombee, does a heck of a lot to Jolteon, and so on. And first impression does a lot of the same to everything. Obviously Vaporeon's probably one of the only ones that can take both of those kind of hits. But that's what I have the rest of my team for. I have a very bulky team, like 4 bulky Pokemon that are kind of meant to take hits, and then a couple offensive ones, namely like Golisopod and Lycanroc, and then of course Whimsicott is also pretty offensive as well, so I can also knock things out with that. But I'm probably gonna, just as a heads up, I'm probably gonna be pausing a lot throughout this replay, so if you do want to just watch it without me pausing it and explaining things, I'll leave a link down below. If that's not really something you're into, that's totally fine. I get it. Sometimes you just want to watch things at your own pace. So I'll leave that down below. And if you want me to go over, never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's get into the battle here. So, of course, my first thought is I want to get up Stealth Rock as soon as possible. His only potential defogger is Silvally. And if I can, obviously just get rocks up, keep them up. That ensures a lot of KOs. Like my Golisopod has does a lot better versus the team. Breaks a potential focus sash on something like a Ribombee, and guarantees a lot of more KOs with things like Accelerock and stuff like that. So of course I'm going to lead Rhyperior, my Stealth Rocker, as he does lead his own Silvally. I don't know why he came out so fast there, but he does end up being Silvally Steel, which is definitely something I was thinking of, because Silvally Steel is one of the most frequently used of them. I think it's one of the only ones that's actually ranked in NU. But this is kind of nice for me, because my Rhyperior, obviously without even that much attack investment, is very strong, and I can get off a huge hit with him. But of course he does decide to get that Toxic off on me, which is not great for my Rhyperior, but I can take it, especially since I do 90% with that Earthquake. And now I know at this point he's not going to want to stay in, so I decided to get my Stealth Rock up. Parting Shot doesn't really matter too much to me. He does go Vaporeon, but I get my rocks up, and that's kind of what I was going for. So they're there to stay, and his main defogger is down to 10%, so it's going to be almost knocked out by the time it comes in on rocks. And obviously I don't want to get scalded by this Vaporeon. I want to keep my Rhyperior around him still at a pretty good amount of health. And I know I have a couple things I can take it on, So I decided to go into one of those things, which is my Vikavolt, but my opponent makes a great play here and double Toxics, able to catch my switch, knowing that I'm not going to want to stay in on the water type. But even though he made a good play there, got Toxic off on Vikavolt, he knows that he cannot stay in versus this big electric bug, so he knows that he needs to switch out. And I'm looking at his team. I see one Pokemon that comes in on electric type moves, that's Jolteon with the Volt Absorb. Other than that, like, he does not enjoy switching into this Pokemon between the bug and electric type stab. So I do decide to go for the Bug Buzz, as he does go Jolteon, and then does a heck of a lot. So basically there, like, I could have gone for Thunderbolt, but there was basically no reason not to, because at this point Bug Buzz, it does a heck of a lot to Jolteon, and it does plenty of damage to everything else. So like, I didn't even need to click Thunderbolt, because it was more risky to click Thunderbolt there, knowing that he could go Jolteon, than just to click Bug Buzz, which hits everything. So it takes a lot of damage there on his Jolteon. I even get a special defense drop, it doesn't really matter though. And he is going to Volt Switch out here, not wanting to stay in. Obviously can't knock me out from the range that I'm at, so I'm just clicking Bug Buzz again, I don't care. So Silvally comes out and just lets that go down to the Buzz, and that goes down, so that's his Defogger gone, so that means Stealth Rock are probably there to stay. But goes Rabombi here, and at this point in the battle I actually had to be like, wait a minute, I feel like Rabombi could get Defog. So I had to type that in /learn Rabombi Defog, and I found out that it actually does learn Defog, which scared me a lot, because I wanted to keep my rocks up, obviously. And I knew that at this point, if he's like a Specs Rabombi, he could probably knock out my Vikavolt. So basically I was just like, okay, Vikavolt, like, you're going to stay in here, you're going to try to knock out this Rabombi. If it does go for the Defog, I can at least knock this out, and then potentially get my rocks back up later. But if he doesn't go for Defog, then I can at least knock him out, or get knocked out and then switch into something that can threaten it, so that just try to prevent the Defog in as many ways as I can. And so he does actually end up going for the Sticky Web instead, which does, I mean, leaves his Rabombi open to click Thunderbolt against. So down it goes. But Sticky Web is, like, I don't enjoy it, but I do have Defog on my Whimsicott, and my Lycanroc and my Golisopod don't really care too much about Sticky Web. Like, it definitely matters a bit, but Accelerock and First Impression are basically my biggest forms of damage here. And then of course my Mandibuzz doesn't really care either, because it's flying. So my Vikavolt is at a pretty low range here. There's probably not a good chance for me to get a Roost or anything. And he does go Virizion, so he's going to outspeed me. If he had gone Vaporeon, I mean, there's no way he would ever go Vaporeon in this situation, but I would have been able to outspeed and Roost. But, of course, obviously, not going to do that. Knocks me out with an Aerial Ace. I get a little Rocky Helmet damage off on his Virizion, which is not bad at all. I decided to go Whimsicott here. I know that I could click Defog and get rid of the Sticky Web, but I also don't want to get rid of my own rocks. So what do I forget? I just click Moonblast. I knock out his Jolteon as he just throws it out there. So right now it's down. He's down. So his 3-5, looking pretty good in my favor. But he decides to go Hoopa here, and this is a big moment. I don't know what this Hoopa's gonna do to me. Hoopa's pretty scary, especially offensive. But I know my Mandibuzz is gonna be able to take any kind of stab hit from it, even like a fighting type coverage. I can eat that up because I'm a little bit especially bulky. And so rather than just leaving my Whimsicott in here just to kind of test the waters, I decided to just go into what I think is a safer play and get a Mandibuzz, and then he reveals the Thunderbolt, which is definitely something that I did not think of at all in the team prep. But fortunately for me, my leftovers does bring me up out of range, unless there's like some crazy rolls. But I do make a play here, hoping that he's locked into Thunderbolt in some way, and it does end up that he is. He at least seems like he's choiced in there, so my Rhyperior is able to come in pretty safely. And I know my best play here, he's probably not going to just go right into his Virizion. He's probably not going to stay in. Even if he does decide to stay in, the best move he could probably hit me with is like a Focus Blast. Does this thing even get like Grass Knot or something? because I guess that could be crazy. But like Focus Blast, I'll eat it up. But I know he's probably going to want to go Vaporeon here, so I decide to make the Toxic play, which does work out for me. Getting this thing Toxic is huge because that limits its options a lot, like it can't heal up or anything. So at this point, I know he's probably going to want to either go for, if he has it, like a Heal Bell, or go for like a Wish or something. So I decided to just stay in with my Rhyperior. I don't really need Rhyperior that much at this point, like you can't get rid of the rocks or anything, so I just get a little Earthquake damage, thinking he might just knock me out, but he doesn't. He does go for the Wish, so I do get a little damage off, and I now know I can go into my Mandibuzz, because I know my Mandibuzz can take a Scald no problem, and then I am able to outspeed and hit him with the Taunt, so he can't like Toxic me or Wish up or anything anymore. So that does work out pretty well. He goes for the Scald, doesn't get a burn, but obviously I can take that pretty well. He gets his Wish back, but at this point, I don't even need to Roost. Like, I still have another Scald, so I'm free to Taunt, and that prevents him from Toxicking me right there, which is pretty big. So now I'm pretty safe. I can go for a Roost. I see he's definitely going to want to switch out. He goes into his Virizion. At this point, I wish I had Brave Bird, but no. The only move I have is Toxic or Foul Play, and I don't really want to stay in. So I decided to go Rhyperior and just sack it, basically. As he actually does go for the Swords Dance. Pretty big moment for him. Obviously my Rhyperior is not going to be able to take a Leaf Blade, so it does knock me out there. But, of course, big moment. I get to bring out the big boy, big offensive threat on my team, the Gliscopod. Doesn't care about the Sticky Web, because he is all about the priority. So I go for it, and it doesn't KO, and he actually ends up being Rocky MZ, and he knocks the hell out of me. So unfortunately, the big offensive threat, the thing that I thought was going to just tear apart his team, ends up not even getting him 1 KO. So now all of a sudden, it's down 3-3. But fortunately for me, my Mandibuzz can still take even a +2 Stone Edge, and then knock out the Virizion with a Foul Play. So, of course, my Mandibuzz is not in a very good position here. Pretty low. Could I take on the Vaporeon, but he knows that, so he's not going to go Vaporeon. So he does have to go Hoopa here, and he's probably going to have to click a move to knock me out. So I decided to just stay in just to see what move he goes for. Goes for the Thunderbolt. I'm like, okay, cool. So I can go into my Whimsicott knowing I can take a Thunderbolt because it's resisted. And basically my game plan here is all I need right now is just damage on this thing. Because if he goes Vaporeon, then I 2-hit KO it, no problem. It takes rocks damage, and of course I still outspeed it even with the Sticky Web up. And so all I need is a little more damage on the Hoopa. Like I need to get it in like, I think it's like 43% or lower. No, it's like somewhere between 30 and 40% is like within Accelerock range. So as long as I can get enough damage off on that, then that's all I need. So he does make the Vaporeon play, sacks it. Because obviously in this range with the Moonblast damage and then Toxic, Stealth Rock all racking up, definitely not going to be able to take another hit. So knock out the Vaporeon, and now all he's got left is his Hoopa, and it's basically all that mattered at this point. I don't know what other moves it has other than Thunderbolt, so I don't know what kind of move it might bust out on my Whimsicott right now, but I'm basically putting all my hopes in that Whimsicott will be able to take any one hit from this thing. I'm at full HP. I don't have any defense investment basically, but still very bulky just in general because it's Whimsicott. And it does end up working out for me. Goes for the Hyperspace Hole, probably his strongest attack, but does not able to knock me out. And I'm able to get off a Moonblast, which is plenty of damage for me. Even though he's able to knock out my Whimsicott there, my Lycanroc can come in and finish the game up with a nice Accelerock. And that is the end of week 1 for the Boston Buizels. If you want to check out Eric's side of the battle, you can go check out his channel, which will be linked down below. And of course, if you do want to check out the team builder or the draft overview for my team, you can check that out on my channel. I'll put links to that on the screen at the end of the video now. And if you want to, I don't know, if you maybe in the next one I can try to do it live. If you guys would be interested, leave a comment if you want to. If you enjoy the post narrations, which I do sometimes, I do like mixing it up. Like I do a lot of live showdown videos, so you can check those out if you want. But if you'd rather me do like a live video of the league matches, let me know. I can try to make that work. Obviously, it's like very dependent on mine and my opponent's schedule, so it's not only is going to be a good time for me to be able to record, but I can definitely put some effort in and try to get that to work. So if you're interested, let me know. But if you're okay with the post narration, you can do that as well. Yeah, and if you want to check out the replay for yourself, it'll be down there too. But yeah, that's gonna be it. The music's ending, so thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Week 2, we're up against I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, so I won't say it. But look forward to that. Probably get some stuff out next week for that. Peace out. Goodbye. Keep dreaming. And goodbye.